Hello, all you happy people, and welcome back. Been a while, right? Uh, it's probably been maybe 2 or 3 months since I've done a video. Uh, had to go through a couple surgeries in the last couple of months, trying to recover from that, but getting there. Slow process and all that. But anyway, hope you guys had a great 4th of July and Memorial Day because I think it was probably, yeah, hadn't been on here since Memorial Day, so yeah, 2 holidays I missed. All right. Anyway, hope everybody's well and had good holidays and enjoyed your family and your friends. Just want to show some stuff that I've accumulated in the last couple 3 months and haven't really got to show. Think I haven't got to show. There's still a lot of piles on this table, and I think I kind of weeded out the stuff that I hadn't showed, maybe. So if I show something you've seen already, I apologize. A lot of different stuff. First thing, I've been looking for an issue of Amazing Heroes, and it was the post-crisis issue, and it had a lot of articles in it I wanted to read. So by itself, major catastrophe. By itself, this issue was pretty pricey, but I didn't want to pay that, so I was lucky and found it in a lot on eBay with 3 or 4 other issues. So we'll just kind of go through those first. Here's Amazing Heroes 99. This is the Electra issue by Miller and Sienkiewicz. Lots of good stuff in there. This was included. There's a cover of Wonder Woman, I think. Number 115. This is the swimsuit issue. Easy, Captain Strangelove. Easy. And here we have number 186. A later issue is a Deathlock preview by Dennis Cowan. And I'm a big Deathlock and big Dennis Cowan fan, and I didn't remember this series, so that's what I'm going to be on the hunt for. Love Deathlock. And here's a issue 156 from 1989 with a great George Perez cover, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Troya, and has a lot of great George Perez stuff in here. So if you're a George Perez fan like I am, really good stuff. And to get to the issue I was talking about, this is number 91 from I guess maybe 1986 or 87. It's the post-crisis issue. Another great George Perez cover. I think I've pretty much read all this one, but got lots of great stuff in it. A lot of articles. Who doomed the Flash? Of course, we lost Barry Allen, but hey, he came back, right? What else we got here? I think we got. And this video is going to go kind of long, so. Anyway, it's got the crisis obituaries of all the characters that met their untimely end. Some came back, some didn't. Who's new in the DC universe? There you got Pariah and Harbinger, Lady Quark. And here the creators reflect on Crisis. So if you're a Crisis freak like I am, great issue to have. Like I say, one I've seen a little pricey on its own, but I was lucky enough to get this in a lot. If I'm moving a little bit slow, there's a reason. So, and I had an issue of Alter Ego that I had pre-ordered. I hadn't got to show it yet. Here's the Secret History of Hillman comics, from Airboy and Valkyrie to the Heap and Beyond. Got a great Dave Stevens cover, which, the original issue of Airboy that this cover is from is pretty pricey now. But a great illustration. Lots of great stuff about Hillman comics. A lot of stuff I didn't know. Okay, this next pile is, I think it's maybe 3 trips to my local comic shop and the bargain bins. And maybe some other stuff, I think. But pretty cool stuff in here. from Eclipse. This is a 6-issue miniseries, and I actually found all 6. And I think my buddy Rod is a fan of this book. This was taken from a role-playing game back in the 80s, The Champions. And I went through 2 or 3 boxes and actually found all 6 issues. So, pretty cool. It's all $1 a piece. Here's number 1. I'm a sucker for the team books, as most of you know. Number 2. Couldn't really tell you who a lot of the characters are. I read the first couple of issues. Here's number 3. Those of you that remember for a while in the 80s, the role-playing games, and I guess to an extent right now, were a big thing. I like this cover. This is number 4 of 6. Number 5. And number 6. Okay, going to continue on here. I have a great EC reprint, Crime Suspense Stories number 6. Always great reading and art. Got some stuff from Continuity Comics. This is Megalith number 1 with our good friend Neil Adams on the cover. And we got some Weird Western Tales, number 60, with Luis Dominguez cover, Scalp Hunter. Nice little find in the dollar bins. There might have been $2 bins. In the last couple of months, you know, they kind of went from having, books priced as marked as far as like back issues. And they had the $2 boxes and the $1 boxes. And I kind of depleted everything I wanted to get out of the $2 boxes, and I went back to the $1 boxes and found a bunch of stuff. Now there are no $1 boxes left, and they've just got tons of 50-cent boxes, which have got like the leftovers from the previous boxes. So still some good stuff in there, but not really anything that I didn't already have or I wanted. So here we have Ripley's Believe It or Not, a Whitman copy. I'm not sure about the number. I'd have to take it out, but looks like a great George Wilson cover there. You know, for years, a lot of people, and I was one of them, kind of turned their nose up at Whitman's and modern comic reprints and all that, but not anymore. So here's another EC reprint, Two Fisted Tales number 7. And I probably got a couple copies of this one, but it was cheap and it was in decent grade, so I went ahead and got it. Love the Secret Society of Supervillains, love Captain Comet. Here's Secret Society number 12. One of my all-time favorite series. And here we have, and I'm not sure about the publisher, here we have The Futurians by Dave Cockrum. You can see some of that influence kind of spilled over into the X-Men stuff he did. Futurians number 3. More Dave Cockrum. I'm not sure. LP, I guess something press. I'm not sure about that. I think I already had this one, but. And Megalith number 2. Looks like more Neil Adams on the cover. And speaking of modern comics reprint, here's E-Man number 2. Real fun issue. And it had a character in the back that was like a Steve Ditko backup feature. One of his characters. I can't remember what the name of it is, but it was a cool story too. But this is a fun title. Okay, we got a little Bronze Age DC War with a Joe Kubert cover. Star Spangled War Stories featuring Unknown Soldier 196. With our guy Joe on the cover. Can't go wrong for $1 or $2. I've been trying to gather these over the years because I missed out on several of them, but from the Project Superpowers that Dynamite put out, here's number 1 issue of Black Terror with that Alex Ross cover. like this is like, I think this was a 4-issue miniseries, Vision and Scarlet Witch. I think this is where they find out that Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch's dad is Magneto. So I might need 1 issue of this, or this might complete that series. I'm not sure. More DC War, Sergeant Rock, number 372. And even more, Sergeant Rock 355. Great cover there. Number 410, book length battle story, 1986. Can't go wrong with those Joe Kubert covers. And here's number 414. So I was kind of slightly surprised to see all these in the $1 and $2 boxes. Here's a Marvel Team at 120 with Spider-Man and Dominic Fortune. More DC War. Unknown Soldier 258. And 259. And this was originally from Southern Star Comics in Lexington, Kentucky. I remember going there back in the 90s. Of course, that place has been gone for a while now, but there's their store stamp. So I'm sure whatever they had, they probably sold to my friend Todd at his shop. Here is Unknown Soldier 254 with 3 features: Captain Fear, Unknown Soldier, and Dateline Frontline. I was always a big fan of Captain Fear. You know, he started out in when Adventure Comics kind of went in the anthology format for about 3 issues by Alex Nino. With this art, well, of course, this is Kubert, but on the inside, I think it's Walt Simonson. And these stories were actually earmarked for some war books before the DC implosion, and then they got, I guess, they got filed away and reprinted, or printed for the first time here, I guess. So I'm always fascinated with the implosion, explosion, what happened to this character, what happened to that book. So this is one of those features. Got some more Weird Western by Luis Dominguez. Number 62, Scalp Hunter. Number 56, Before the Implosion. No, check that. This is after. Sorry about that. And I think this is an issue I needed for this series. Joe Kubert, The Rock, Sergeant Rock, The Prophecy, number 5 of 6. Great Joe Kubert cover. And here we have Kazar number 12. A little bit rough around the edges, but I think this is Jack Kirby and John Romita on this cover. And we have World's Finest 236, Superman, Batman, and the Atom. I already had this one, but I think this is a lot better grade than my childhood copy, so I picked it up. And let's see, let's put this pile away. Okay, I've got a couple of AOKs. I want to say a big thank you, and it's been probably 2 or 3 months since I received these, but I wanted to say a big thank you first to our good friend Brian, Mski361. He had asked me a while back what Avengers, or not Avengers, but Defenders issues I was needing, and I gave him a list, but I also, Charlton66, Steve also asked me, so it's kind of funny what's coming up here. But he sent me a couple Defenders I did not have, and these had tons of guest stars, so I mean, you had everybody but the kitchen sink in these issues. But here's issue 64. Valkyrie in the center there. Great issue. Issue 65, Keith Pollard and Terry Austin. Red Guardian and the floating heads that some people love and some people hate. I kind of like them. And along with those 2 issues from Brian, he also sent me a DC trading card, Heroes from Beyond, Adam Strange, which is one of my favorite characters. And that made me happy because I think about the same time that I got this, I had got this in the mail and I didn't open it till the other day, but I've had it a couple of months. I finally opened the box, but it kind of goes along with this. And of course, Adam Strange is one of my favorite characters. And I found this on eBay for a good price. Todd McFarlane's Multiverse figures. Got some great stuff. Got 4 different faces and 2 different hand grips. You got the gun. You got the stand. You got the rocket pack. You see there. So I got a good deal on this, and I was really happy to get it. So thank you, Brian, very much again. And this will add to my Adam Strange collection and my Defenders collection. Okay. And the other AOK I got, like I say, was from our good friend Steve, Charlton66. And Steve works part-time in a comic shop. And he asked me before Free Comic Book Days if there was anything I was looking for. And I really hadn't thought about it, so I just kind of looked up the list. And I said there might be 2 or 3. And he also knew that I was looking for Defenders. So he sent me some Defenders too. So he sent me more than 2 or 3 free comics. So this is Keen Spotlight, Mark Spears Monsters. Not sure what this is, but pretty cool cover. We got Alien. We got Planet of the Apes and Predator. So we got my favorite sci-fi franchise, along with a couple others I'm fond of, and I think it's already been out or it's coming out. Planet of the Apes and Predator. I'm not sure how that's going to go, but I'd be interested in finding out since I am an ape fanatic. Here we got a Masters of the Universe, also featuring Dungeons and Dragons, Free Comic Book Day. And here we got a preview of the DC stuff. Next Level, got Lobo, it's like Batgirl or Batwoman, and Deathstroke. Pretty cool. It's got a preview of the Zatanna series and Firestorm, which I've got the first issue of Firestorm, and it is actually really good. I didn't pick up any more, but I'm really intrigued to see where this goes. Got Avengers Armageddon #1. You got Red Hulk, Spider-Man, Wolverine, and Iron Man. Plus X-Men. This was a really good issue. I'd like to get more of these. Greatest American Hero. Fellas, if you're close to my age and you watched this when you were a kid, you know what I'm talking about. And this kind of shows what happened to him later on. So, really cool book. I really enjoyed this one too. Big fan of Flash Gordon. It's all in black and white. Lots of great line art. Big fan of the black and white stuff. Conan, Tides of the Tyrant King from Titan Comics. Who doesn't like Conan, right? And you can't have Free Comic Book Day without having some Archie. World of Archie #1. It's hard to believe Archie Comics is still around. And as I said, Steve had asked me a while back what Defenders issues I needed. And he sent me five issues. And when I knew that both of them were sending me Defenders, I said, you know, I got a feeling some of those books are going to be the same. And I was right. So the 2 issues that Brian sent me, Steve also sent me. So we got another 64 here, another 65, and 3 more that I didn't have. Got a great Hulk cover here, issue 81, with Doc Strange and Submariner. 3 of the originals anyway. And Defenders 82. Another great cover. And the last one, issue 124, with the, I guess, the Defenders final lineup. Wasn't crazy about these, but in the case of being a completist, I want to get them all. I think I'm 6 issues shy of the 152 or 53, whatever it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 issues shy. So we got that. Okay, now these others are some books I got from my comic shop. I spent a couple of gift cards I had, and I still got a few more I got to spend. But I got some silver and bronze issues, and I'll show those. So this is an issue I've been wanting to upgrade for a long time. Flash 281. My original copy I found in like an old used record shop, but it had like a sticker. It wasn't in a bag, and it had a sticker on the cover. And I always wanted to have a better copy. You know, it's a great cover by Dick Giordano. It's got the reverse Flash, and Flash finds out that the guy that he thought originally killed Iris, which, as most of you know now, she wasn't really dead, was not that guy, but was someone else. And then later on, I guess he finds out that it was Professor Zoom. So glad to have that one. And you probably never seen me share this comic out of my collection. This is Commandy 18. But something about this one, when I saw it, I was like, okay, I got to have that one. Just because I had never seen a Commandy issue with this in it. This is in pretty rough shape. But this is the Mark Jewelers insert version. So this is the Mark Jewelers version of Commandy 18. I just wonder how many other collectors out there have a Mark Jewelers version of Commandy 18 in their collection. And who would want one, right? But I thought it was kind of neat, so I had to grab it. I think actually the cover is loose, but no matter. So there's that. And we got a Silver Age issue of World's Finest. This is number 153. And this is an imaginary novel. Don't get me started. But actually, there's a significance to this, and I'm sure some of you already know, but I'm going to show you anyway. The significance of this issue. And I got a pretty good deal on it, too. So, what have we here? Oh, look. Robin's getting smacked by Batman. So, this is the issue that came from, all the memes. So, I thought that was pretty cool. Have that in the collection. You got these great ads. Aurora, hobby kits, baseball. So, thought that was a nice little addition to the collection. My collection is nothing if eclectic or esoteric. This is one I wanted for a while. This is the Atom number 3. First appearance of Kronos. One of my favorite villains. And once in a while, I'll just look at some of the odd publishers, you know, that were publishing comics back in the 60s and 70s, and just see if there's something I hadn't seen before. And this is the title I had never seen or heard of before. It's from ACG Comics. This is actually issue number 1, and there was only 7 issues. Midnight Mystery. issue number 1. A lot of the basic ACG mystery, sci-fi type stories in it that I thought was kind of cool. And I found it at a right price, so picked it up. Got some more Marvel team up here. This issue 62, Spider-Man and Miss Marvel. I'm trying to find all the John Byrne issues that he drew. So this is one of his. I'm thinking, no, this is not John Byrne. This looks like, that looks like Keith, or Gil Kane. Yep, Gil Kane. Gil Kane on the membrane. Really happy I have this one. Marvel Chillers, featuring Tiger the Werewoman, featuring Kraven the Hunter, number 4. One of those short series I love so well, and this puts that series to bed. I have all 7 now. So very cool. A back issue of Detective Comics from the Bronze Age I didn't have, number 467. And actually the backup is better than this one because it's the story with the calculator and like all the various Justice League heroes going against him, and with art by Marshall Rogers before he started on the lead feature. So actually a pretty nice copy, or nice book to have. Ernie Chan on the cover there, it looks like. No, I'm wrong. It's Rich Buckler. Aided and abetted and dragged down by Vince Coletta. I have all these, but I just picked it up just because I love Joe Staton's art. Number 7 of DC Challenge. The goofy, fun little series. Lots of great artwork. And I have a couple issues of the Silver Age Blue Beetle. This is number 58, I think, from Charlton66. And number, looks like 51, kind of hard to tell. The Praying Mantis Man is back for vengeance. Poor Dan and Garrett, what will you do? Okay, got some more war books I found. Great covers. A couple by Kubert. Here we have Our Fighting Forces number 129. Now that, my friends, is a comic book. Star Spangled War Stories number 165 with the Unknown Soldier. Another Joe Kubert masterpiece. 20 center. Here's a last issue of a reprint title that they had in the 70s. 20-cent covers, 4-star Battle Tales. I think I'm missing maybe 1 or 2. And last but not least on the comics, Weird War number 9. Found this for a good price.